All right, guys, there's a bell ringer on the board. Go ahead and get started for me, please.
My name is Honey Good. Okay.
Like that's one of the two gases you can choose from when you do
Is that
like
what?
for your house. Isn't that natural?
I thought it was gas or electric, and you had to.
I know, and
Oh,
it's
you're
natural
saying the
gas.
is the natural gas. Well,
Yeah,
then,
it's natural gas.
So natural gas
rather than like fossil fuels.
and it's
stuff.
cleaner than like other gases.
Yes,
Yes.
I believe so.
I think so.
And I want to say that natural gas is the renewable one, whereas like fossil fuels as fuel isn't. I have no idea what hydrofracking is. That is beyond me.
Let's see.
What we use those for in our society, with the chiruma. They're in the atmosphere. They're in the atmosphere. Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm not sure how to phrase that right now. But, and then, oxygen and, hydrofracking relates to natural gas. Think about it. The natural gas, oxygen, hydrofracking had to do with water, oxygen, hydrogen, H2O.
But just think the two are intricately linked.
Two are intricately.
Well, I know about natural gas. I know it's synthetic, right? And it's sort of used to like.
Think about it. It's natural gas.
Oh, natural.
To heat your house and stuff like that.
Oh, that's right. Like with the stove.
Yes, exactly. Okay. We're at a pretty good stopping point, guys. So, yes, did you have a question? Okay. All right, so let's go back up here for a second real quick. All right, so our essential question for today, how does extraction of natural resources impact the environment? So what do you think the natural resource we're going to be looking at is?
Tree.
Oil.
Yeah.
Thank you, right? Natural gas.
Natural.
Natural gas, okay? So in particular, we want to look at this standard right here that says we want to describe how energy and other resource utilization impact the environment and recognize that individuals as well as larger entities, businesses, governments, things like that, have impact on energy efficiency. Okay? We burn a lot of natural gas in this country. Okay? But what we need to understand is what the impact is of us removing that natural gas from the ground and how that affects the environment that we live in. All right? So, did every group have some pretty good ideas on both of those things?
No.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. I want each group to pick one person to come up to the board and write one thing about natural gas and one thing about hydrofracking on the board, okay? All right, next. Thank you, Taylor. Push against the board. It's all right. You're not going to hurt it. Push it hard. There you go.
I am hearing so many there.
Can we all agree that natural gas is used to heat houses?
Yes.
Okay, and for other ways to get energy, right? Okay. Yes, natural gas is in the atmosphere, but is it very easy for us to extract it from the atmosphere?
No.
Okay.
That's why it's underground.
Okay, so we're looking for it underground, right?
Yeah.
So which means we got to figure out a way to get it out of the ground. All right, so I'm going to show you guys real quickly an interactive display to show you how this system works because it's very important for us to understand how the process works so we can look at what the environmental consequences of it are, okay? All right, so we're good with this?
Yeah.
Natural gas, we use it for an energy source, use it to heat our homes, we get it out of the ground, and hydrofracking is the process, one of the processes by which we do that, okay? All right, so they drill down into the ground. Generally where the shale is below the water table, so they have to drill through the water table. As soon as they go through the water table, what they do is they pull their drill out of the hole and they pump concrete down it. And the idea behind that is it's going to keep anything they're taking out of the ground, anything they're putting in this plumbing from getting into our water supply. That's the idea. Doesn't always work that way. Okay? So they fill it with concrete, and then they continue on down to where the shale is. And then the shale usually has been long big deposits, so they actually turn their drill bit and drill horizontally through the shell. So they make, you're talking 3,000 to 8,000 feet below the surface at this point. When they get that done, they're well into the shell. They send this thing called a perforation gun down the tube. And what it's going to do is it's literally going to blow holes in the pipe, and it's going to blow little holes into the shell that's surrounding the pipe. All right, so now this is the shell. This shell is what has the natural gas trapped in it. All right, then they're going to spray high pressure water and lubricants and a couple of chemicals down in there. And what it's going to do is it's going to cause that rock to crack. It's called fracturing. This is where the term fracking comes from. So what do you think happens when that rock cracks? The gas. Yeah, the gas can escape now, right? So now they're going to pump all this water back out. Right? They're going to pump all this water out, and now that allows the natural gas that's in that shell to go back up the pipe so we can pull it out of the wellhead. All right? Anybody see any problems?
Well, you're leaving this cracked shell all around the place with that.
Okay, exactly. What have we done to this rock that's under a tremendous amount of pressure?
You cracked it.
We've cracked it. Okay, can we have any way of controlling how it cracks?
No.
So what might be the problem if that shell is near the water table?
Fissures?
Ah, the gas might possibly leak into the water table, right? This table, this table, this table. You guys are going to be 4. Okay? You 3 tables are going to be against.
So we're going to have a debate.
Well, I want to show you a video real quick. It's about 2.5 minutes long, and it looks at it. They talk to people who are for, they talk to people against. So what I want you to do while you're watching the video is I want you to jot a couple of notes down based on your position for or your position against. All right, and then we're going to have a discussion about it as a group, okay?
It's a volatile issue that residents say is dividing a growing number of towns.
I don't know why this is up here either.
It's a volatile issue that residents say is dividing a growing number of towns around the country.
The drilling controversy has pitted friends against friends, neighbors against neighbors.
More and more energy companies are using a controversial technique called hydraulic fracturing or fracking to reach difficult stores of natural gas. Chris Tomlinson is among those in favor of the process. He earns royalties from leasing his land near Dallas to a gas company.
When people started finding out that other people's making money, that's when they got upset about it.
Opponents say the drilling impacts the environment, reduces the quality of life, and declines property values.
You have drill sites, you have facilities that are very close to people's homes, very close to people, to our schools.
Some environmentalists and residents in Pennsylvania's northern counties are concerned the process can contaminate drinking water. Bill Ely said the drilling allowed methane and other contaminants to get into his tap water, and he can now set it on fire. Ely and other residents of the town of Dimmock are suing gas driller Cabot Oil and Gas Corporation. Cabot denies responsibility.
So now we can't use our water. We have a buffalo out back, so that means I get water delivery every day. That means I can't park in my driveway where I want to. I can't use our ice maker. I can't use my dishwasher.
Fracking allows gas to be extracted from previously inaccessible rock formations more than a mile underground. It involves blasting millions of gallons of water mixed with sand and some toxic chemicals deep into the earth and then horizontally to fracture shale rock formations that freeze the previously unreachable gas.
Thousands of wells, relatively small area, unprecedented quantities of fluids coming, being transported, leaving, being transported. And during that coming, storing, and leaving is where the highest risks for impact go. And that's not happening inside somebody's plant in his industrial zone. It could be happening in my backyard.
Gas industry officials defend the drilling, calling it an environmentally clean and cheaper alternative to coal and oil.
Clean burning energy source for electricity generation, a growing role in the vehicle market and the manufacturing and the chemical industry that has gone overseas has an opportunity to grow once again in this country.
Pennsylvania environmental regulators have scrambled to stay ahead of the challenges the drilling has brought in the last 2 years. This type of unconventional gas drilling has been underway in Texas for more than 5 years. The Federal Environmental Protection Agency is preparing to study impacts in communities around the country. Ed Donahue, The Associated Press.
All right, so you 3 tables over here that I told you guys are 4. All right, spend a few minutes, get your heads together, and I want you guys to come up with as many possible reasons as you can think of why this is a good idea. All right, you guys are going to do just the opposite. You guys are against, so spend some time together, put your heads together, come up with as many reasons as you can think of why it should not be done. Now, a good idea, because we're going to debate this, is to maybe think about also what your opponents might be thinking of as reasons, so you can be prepared to counteract those reasons. Okay? All right. So get started.
There's no better alternative that we have at this moment. And we need natural gas. That's the most important part. We need it for heating, we need it for different stuff. We have to have it. And it's not something we can just give up. We need a way to get it. Unless they can provide a different way to get it, there's nothing we can do about it.
I mean, sure, they might not be able to drink their water, but
I think it adds taste.
At the end of the day, the people who are pumping the gas.
It's a water supply issue. So if you think about the stuff that's in the water table that you're putting a well into, it's just a big hole in the ground full of water, right? That we're pulling water.
Get your water from there.
You know, I have a solution to all of this.
Natural radioactivity that's associated with shale. So sometimes the water that they use to fracture the shale, when it gets pumped out, sometimes there's a radioactive component to it.
We never even thought about what they do. Do they reuse the water?
No, it's just it's a product of the natural radiation that's in the earth, right? But also there are contaminants that get in that water as well. There's stuff they use in the water to keep it in the form they want it and keep it at the viscosity they want it at. So there's stuff actually put in the water before it gets pumped. But when that water gets pumped out, it has to go somewhere, right? They have to do something with it.
what do they do?